Hello class, Sangeeta teacher here. Today we are going to begin with EVS 1 lesson number 21, busy at work are internal organs. Can you recall? Take a large sheet of thick paper about the height of a child in the class. Put it on the wall as shown in the picture and secure it with tapes. Ask one student to stand against it and another to draw the outline of the body. Means to trace it out. In this way, trace out a figure of a child. What you have to do is take a large sheet of thick paper, almost the size of the child. Tell the child to stand near it, and the other child can draw the outline of the shape of that child. Now basically, why is this done? Now get other students to point out the right place of the following organs within the outline, that is the brains, lungs, heart and the stomach. Now which organs do you have to find out? Now if I tell what is there here, now this is the head, inside the skull. Now inside the skull what is there? The brain, right? Moving further, here heart is situated, this side lungs, and here is the stomach, right children? Now the brain, the heart, the lungs and the stomach are which organs? But obviously they are organs of your body, but they are called internal organs. The external organs is your head, your face, your arms, your legs. These are your external organs, the organs which you can see. The organs which are there inside your body, which is kept safe in the cavity, that is the protective shells, and then with the help of the bones it is kept safe, and then the bones are covered with the muscles and the skin. In this way these are called the internal organs, and your arms, your legs, your face, your neck, your shoulder, these are your external organs, right children? Now recall the following details about each of the organ. In which cavity of the body is it situated? That's what we discussed now. The brain is situated in the skull, the heart and the lungs are situated in the rib cage. It is in the rib cage. Where it is? Rib cage is the bony cage which protects the most vital organs of our body. Vital organs, the most important delicate organs of our body. Now what is its function? Its function, the function of the rib cage is to protect the heart and the lungs. The function of the skull is to protect the brains. Now which are the bones that protect it? The bony skull, the rib cage, they protect them, right? Can you tell what bodily needs or sensations do you become aware of even though you are reading a book? Now difference in the book, na? Reading books. Now if you are reading a comic, a novel or your science book or your maths book, there is a difference, right children? The difference is when you are reading a comic, you will not feel sleepy, but the needs or the sensations you become aware of even at that time are like going to the attending nature's call, or feeling sleepy, or feeling hungry, right children? So these are the things you even at that time also you come to know. Your body gets the directions that you are hungry now, you need to eat something, now you are tired, feeling sleepy, so you should take rest. So these orders are given by the brains, and accordingly the body executes it. Now when we are sleepy we will sleep, when we are hungry we will eat, right? So, attending nature's call. I hope you all have understood what is attending nature's call. It is going to the washroom, going to the toilet. The processes like respiration, digestion go on inside the body continuously with the help of certain organs. Let us learn something about these processes and the organs that carry them. Now, children, you don't need to tell the body, your brain does not need to tell to breathe, to inhale, to exhale, to digest. This work, these processes go on automatically. The moment you first put your morsel in your mouth, the mouth knows it has to chew, the teeth knows it has to chew. At that time, the salivary glands excrete saliva so that the food is mixed properly, it becomes moist. When it becomes moist, it is turned into a soft moist ball called bolus. We will be learning that when we come to the digestive system. So these organs work on 24/7 without any indication, without any notice. They work on their own. Right, children? Moving further, use a watch to count how many times you breathe in 1 minute when you are sitting comfortably. From this, work out approximately how many times you breathe in an hour. This is just a for fun sake activity. Just try it out. Check your wrist, hold your wrist and check your watch. Like how many times are you breathing in 1 minute? Accordingly, you calculate. Right, children? When you are sitting comfortably. So it will definitely differ from the time you are exercising, running or climbing the stairs. The heartbeat becomes fast. Moving towards respiration. We need air, water and food to live. It is necessary for the body to get a continuous supply of oxygen. We get this oxygen from the air through breathing. That is why we breathe continuously. In our body, there are organs that carry out the work of respiration. Read their names in the diagram on the next page and also their description. Now, children, you know what is respiration. Inhaling and exhaling together are called respiration. We inhale oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide. Now, it is necessary for our body. We need continuous supply of oxygen. When the supply of oxygen is reduced or when it starts dwindling, we feel suffocated, we feel uneasy. So we should have always good ventilation in our house, or we should go out in fresh air. So that is how our body will get sufficient supply of fresh oxygen. That is why we breathe continuously. In our body, there are organs that carry out the work of respiration. Each organ has a specific work. They have to do their work, and they do their work properly until and unless we don't help them, we don't coordinate with them. Now, what do you mean? What do you understand from that? Until and unless we keep ourselves fit, we have a balanced diet, we exercise, we walk, we sleep properly. So when we take care of our organs, they also work properly. Right, children? Understood? We are going to see the diagram on the next page. Now coming towards the next page, you can see the respiratory system. Now what is this respiratory system? You can see this. Now this is whole a system. When many organs work together, work in coordination to perform one task is called a system. Like only this trachea can't work out, only the lungs can't do, only the nose can't help. So these different organs work together, work hand in hand. When they coordinate properly, then only the breathing process is completed. Now you can see the nose. This is an external organ. Everybody knows the nose. This organ, this part is the nose. Now coming inside. Now this we are coming to the internal organs. Now you can see this. This is, in the normal language we call it a windpipe. In the scientific language we called it trachea. It is a trachea. Now inside our body there are two pipes. One is esophagus and the other is trachea. One is the food pipe and the other is the windpipe. From the windpipe we breathe in, we inhale and we exhale. And from the food pipe, that is the esophagus, the food is brought down to the internal parts of our body. Now you can see this. The diagram above shows our respiratory organs. When we inhale, the air from outside goes into the trachea, the windpipe, and through these branches, you can see the branches here, its branches into the lungs. From the branches it goes inside the lungs. In the lungs, these branches divide further into smaller and smaller branches. At the end of last branches, there are air sacs or alveoli. There are lakhs and lakhs of air sacs. The counts are in lakhs. What is that? They are called alveoli. It is in the shape of a sack. You know sack, goonie, a sack of rice like this. You must have seen, no? Sack of sugar, sack of wheat. So this is air sacs. These sacs are filled with air. They are called alveoli. Now from the nose to the trachea, from the trachea to the branches, and from the branches there are smaller more branches which bring out the air inside the lungs, where this air is purified. The oxygen is mixed with the blood and the blood is further circulated into the body. Now between the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity there is an organ like flexible sheet. It is called diaphragm. Now between the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity is the stomach. Between this and this, between this cavity and this cavity, abdomen is here. Now you can see this curve. This is the diaphragm. Now the breathing process takes place only because of this diaphragm. The up and down movement of your chest is due to inhaling and exhaling. This is possible only because of this diaphragm. What is this? Diaphragm. It is a flexible organ which moves up and down because of inhaling and exhaling. Understood, children? Now this is what? This is called a diaphragm. diaphragm. It is diaphragm. Understood, children? Now the diaphragm and its movement. When the diaphragm moves downwards, we breathe in. When it is moving downwards, we are breathing in. And the incoming air fills the alveoli in the lungs. When the diaphragm moves upwards, air in the lungs is pushed out. Understood, children? This is how the movement of the diaphragm helps us in inhaling and exhaling. Hope you have understood this much. We will continue in the next lecture. Till the time, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.